Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Travis Snell.
I'm Dylan Musk.
And I'm Emily.
Okay. We are trying something else out. Sorry, bad opening. But we're going to stick with it because that's what this podcast is about failing. Yeah, and I just failed the opening.
It's about failing.
Yeah.
Okay.
This podcast,
kind of is.
sister podcast, cousin podcast, the GeekVerse podcast, another spinoff. It's called Netflix or Fail. Now, you're probably wondering what that means. It's based off just my queue of Netflix, but we're going to be watching movies in the coming months of movies that are failing. So under 2.5 or less. We might every once in a while throw in a 2.5 if like the group, whoever the panels, maybe we feel strongly that this should not be a 2.5 or something like that. But most of the time we're going to go for stuff that's under 2.5.
Yeah.
We're going to watch movies that either we've never even heard of or movies we've never seen. And if we have seen them, maybe once a long time ago. Yeah. So like today, we're going to start off with like a bigger one so you kind of know maybe you've seen it until we watch like some like really shitty one with like, I don't know, like Nicolas Cage in a movie you've never even heard of, you know. So, and plus this works, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the second one is coming out this Friday, so we're starting with the first one.
Yeah.
Somehow, none of us, this is true, none of us have seen this.
Right.
Nope.
Emily and Dylan, why have you not seen this movie yet?
I have zero nostalgia for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
I didn't watch the show when I was younger.
To
I
clarify,
didn't play
it's
with any of the toys, so I don't care about them at all.
Yeah.
So I had no reason to see this movie that I thought looked bad in the first place from the trailer.
To clarify on my Netflix, it's a 1-star. So we're gonna watch it because Netflix, like movies failing, like you would feel bad if your movie's on Netflix and you see someone's Netflix is 1-star, like that's a big fail. So we're gonna watch today to see if it's
But I feel like children don't rate the movies either, you know?
true, but
Because I feel like this is
You know,
definitely...
there's a shitty little 7-year-old out there somewhere that's just like, I'm rating this like this.
yeah, and you do
True.
know that there's gonna be some people that enjoy it. Like look at Taylor, our fellow GeekVerse person. He probably thinks this is like a 4 or 5. Like, all he said that he loves this movie. That's all he said. So that's where I countered that there's gonna be people like Taylor that love this movie and would rate it. And once again, it's based on
There's definitely a lot of people like Taylor in this world.
There's definitely a lot of people.
Yeah.
But even at the same time, he's one of a kind.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the other thing. In the comments or whatnot, let me know what it is on your Netflix. This is Canadian Netflix, so I'm not sure if it's on American. If not, you could watch the movie along. It's not going to be a commentary track. We're going to do this. We're going to watch it. We're going to come back and talk about if it deserves an actual 1-star.
Mm-hmm.
Emily, why have you not seen this film?
I actually really enjoyed Ninja Turtles when I was little.
Like the originals, like the cartoons
Yeah, the
and
cartoons
stuff?
and whatnot. But I did not see this movie because I am not a big fan of overly CG'd movies, and this just looks like CG Fest 99. Like, it looks
99.
way too much. Yeah, throwing it back.
I feel like it'd be CJ Fest like 2009, to be honest.
Whatever, just too much CG for me. One of the reasons I don't see a lot of movies is because there's too much CG, or I don't think I'm going to like a lot of movies is because of the CG, and this one is, like, I don't know if there's anything real in it except for, what's her
Megan
name?
Fox.
Megan
And
Fox.
Will Arnett's in it. So I'm excited about that. He's in it.
Yeah.
For me, it's just the simple judging a book by the cover, produced by Michael Bay. The second I saw that,
Oh, yeah,
like,
Michael Bay. I forgot about that.
yeah, the second I saw that, I was like,
Michael Bay.
oh, yeah. Like, and I, same thing you, I watched the cartoons. I loved the movies as a kid, the first 3. They don't always hold up as well now, but they're still fun nostalgia, like you said earlier.
It wasn't
but
in your top 5 trilogies of all time.
no, not like Taylor's, no. But, yeah, so I saw Michael Bay. I hate the Transformers movie. I watched one Transformer movie. I was out. That's one thing I don't think we'll ever watch on here, because we're not going to watch movies that I just know are going to be 1-star. You know, like I've never seen Transformers, but I know they're 1-star. With this, if you had to guess, do you feel like obviously it's to what I like, but do you think it's going to be a 1-star movie? When you get out of this, do you think, man, that's a 1 or lower out of 5?
First of all, I don't like ratings out of 5. I like ratings out of 10. I think it's much better.
Yeah, I agree.
with you there.
So Netflix?
So if I'm 1 out of 5.
Because there's more variation in the 10.
Yeah,
between the numbers.
It's
like,
different to say is a 1 out of 5 or a
It's
2
a
out of 10, even though it is
right?
the exact same.
Yeah, because you have to be a 2.5, and then that's a pass. You know,
I think this is going to be a bad movie. I'll say that.
Okay.
I think it's worth less than 2.5. I don't know. Maybe I'll watch it and I'll think it's really cute and fun for the kids and fun for the fam, but I don't think it'll be more than a 2.5. That's for sure.
I guess I think it will be a 1, and also it's my Netflix, so maybe it will be 1 for me. But like, I could feel that because I haven't heard good things about this movie. No one other than one person has told me you should see it. Like you said, a lot of CGI. Megan Fox.
Who was that? Taylor.
Taylor. Other than Megan Fox, other than Will Arnett, like Megan Fox is awful.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have no high expectations, so maybe I'll go and see it and it'll be lots of fun. So, I don't know. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go watch this movie. We're going to come back.
Wish us luck.
Yeah, and see if it is a 1-star, if it is a Netflix or fail. And, yeah, we'll be back. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're back on
You're
Netflix and fail. If I said that wrong before, shoot me. It's my first podcast.
Did you say
doing
Netflix
so.
or fail?
Yeah, I think so. But,
Yes.
you know, we're trying to be current, you know, play on the whole Netflix and chill thing. Netflix and fail. There you go.
I like it. That's good.
Overall, Emily, we'll start with you. What did you think overall?
I think it's definitely less than 2.5.
So you're starting off saying it's a fail.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
It's definitely a fail.
I guess
But
we can do
don't
that
think
around.
I
Hang
would-
on. Dylan, fail?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to fail, yeah. Okay, continue. So, you know the route this is going so
But
far.
I think kids would like it. Like,
Oh,
Do
yeah.
you?
definitely. Yeah, I do. I think they actually, I know they do. I work with children and they love
Fair.
this shit. So,
I just feel like it could. I tried to write some notes, and I did put this in my note, and I said this multiple times throughout the movie. I feel like they try to make it for kids and adults, but
yeah.
I'd respect them more if it was just a full-on kids movie. I said the tone
I
is
think
all.
it should have been for
Yeah,
sure.
I said the tone's all over because sometimes they're cartoony. Like we just finished watching it, and then there's that scene in the elevator where they're singing to each other, this and that. But then it gets like really dramatic. Like the villains look like they're in James Bond films with their like AK-47s. The scene where Shredder is beating up Splinter, it's really dramatic, and they're yelling, and he almost kills him, and it's just. I would rather them just go full-on cartoony. That's it. Like this is what we're doing.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I think that would have been better, too.
What are your over thoughts, Don?
I don't really know where to start. I mean, I feel like it was just your classic kind of kids movie, and I see what you mean by you know how it seemed a little bit dark, but
I just don't know if I can look. See, I can't look at this as a kids movie.
I
Like-
can.
I don't know. It just doesn't seem kiddie enough.
Maybe, like, overall,
I
but,
feel
like-
like the Ninja Turtles themselves are like very kid friendly, and just the way they talk and their little jokes, like kids
Yeah.
love that. They're not gonna understand every joke, that's for sure. But like,
But all the jokes are sent to us mostly.
to what, adults?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing. When adults laugh, kids laugh, and they don't know what they're laughing at, but
That's
like
true.
they'll find it funny and they'll
They're
repeat
happy.
it, and
They're
like
having a good time.
even just like. Especially because I work with kids, I've heard kids say like they love Mikey, like he's funny.
Okay,
I
but
can
here's
see
the,
that.
here's the problem though, because it wasn't funny of us. Like I don't think any of us laughed at any point at like a joke, so it wasn't funny enough for like an adult to laugh at it for that reason.
No,
You know what
but
I mean?
you know,
So-
but you know what?
so,
It's
like, they
funny
didn't
enough
even-
for a kid to laugh
And the
at.
references, they would just
Sometimes.
throw out like that when they're like, "Oh, Fortress of Solitude, Xavier's School." Like they just were throwing out constant just. And I know you're like, "Oh, because they're teenagers," but they're just throwing out constant like puns and constant like alluding to other movies. I just felt like all their dialogue was nothing to do with like jokes or characters. Mikey was all right. He's I guess like
That was the yellow one. Of
Yeah.
yeah, the orange one. I'd have to say he's my favorite, but that's very lackluster. And like I didn't really care about the other ones. Like Donatello really did nothing. Like the tech one, like he was just like he did tech, but like I have no of his personality.
I don't feel like
Raphael,
he has to wear glasses.
what?
I felt bad that he had to wear glasses.
You gotta set
Just
him apart
because
for the
he's the
toys.
like one who works on the computer, he has to wear these
Yeah,
glasses
the
over
classic.
top of his mask.
Yeah.
I actually felt like the action scenes with the turtles, like the fighting scenes with the turtles, were actually pretty lame too. Like I feel like they
Yeah.
weren't. We mentioned at one point they weren't even using their weapons, and they weren't like even when they beat Shredder and they just like kicked him off the building
Yeah.
and stuff. It's super lame.
What do you guys think about Shredder?
Lackluster? Just
I
like,
thought he looked actually
feel
kind
like-
of cool.
he looked like
really?
a transformer.
I don't know. I don't think he looked like
He
that
looked like-
bad.
I don't even say lackluster because I don't even feel like there's
Megatron.
luster there.
I think his like 100 swords on one hand is like kind of weird, but I think his armor was like it wasn't
He
that
was
bad.
like if Megatron and Edward Scissorhands like made a baby, he became Shredder.
I was indignant, and I felt like he was like, even though he was that guy's father, what was this? It was Sax or whatever.
Practically raised him.
Yeah,
He wasn't
right.
his father. He
Practically
practically
raised him.
raised him.
But like, I felt like he was just like the bitch side villain. Like, I did not feel this was his master plan. And he just kind of popped up. I didn't really understand all their motivations. Like the plan, it was lame, but kind of made sense of okay, they're gonna poison the world, and then they have the antidote. But then, like, it's just like, it's a lame thing, because it's just like, okay, gonna destroy the world and then rebuild to get money. So, okay, he wants money, so it kind of made sense, but then, like
it doesn't really, though, because you already see that he has, like, this crazy castle house. He's clearly already has a lot of money.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't need it anymore.
So he's just doing this just for money.
He said stupid rich, and it's like, okay, like...
You kind of already are stupid rich. You have a helipad in your backyard.
On the top of a mountain that stretches for years above ground.
The tallest mountain in New York.
But then this was my thing, too. I said this, too, when they were about to disperse this, like, toxin or whatever, they had to do the classic 5-minute countdown. It's like, they've been planning this for years. Why isn't it loaded up here? Like, it's just... They just felt so bad.
But no, you have to remember they weren't planning it because they put the plan on the back burner because they had lost all the research and didn't think there was anything to come from it. But then when she came back and told them, like, I rescued the turtles and now they're ninjas, he's like, plan's back on the table.
Yeah, and that's
and really that like the time frame of that was only like what, a day
or two.
The whole movie took place in about 2 to 3 days.
Yeah, that was
quick.
Real quick. Although that mountain scene.
That mountain scene took at least a day to film.
That felt like it was my entire life. Yeah, I didn't like that it was the coincidence of, she happens to know the scientist and she became a reporter and like she raised the turtles. Yeah, and it's like then they happen to meet years later. Like that's my least favorite thing in films is coincidence. So
yeah.
And before we moved on from Shredder, I was gonna say my least favorite thing with Shredder is he could have killed the turtle like 5 different times and he just like chose not to. But it wasn't like a cocky thing. It was a thing of like, oh, like I'm gonna take them out and then get back to my.
He already got what he needed from them with their blood and stuff. So he had no reason to not kill them when he had a chance.
Yeah, he was just like, I felt like he was very lackluster. It was like he showed up and it was like were expecting like massive battle, and he was just kind of like quick battle gone. Then he'd come back, quick battle gone. It was just very.
I only have one pro. One was the credits that were kind of cool.
The opening credits?
Yeah, the opening credits were kind of cool.
I think it went on too long.
Yeah,
I thought it was like a cool art style, but it went on for too long.
I like the art style stuff, but I didn't like the whole like
Fruit Ninja part.
Yeah, and like the VHSs, and that was a little too much. You know, like that scene.
Yeah, no, I just like the little like sort of comic booky thing they had going on at the start.
Yeah, no, that was legitimately the only pro I had.
So yeah, like it started out pretty. It was like, okay, this movie has some potential. It got some cool opening scene, and then.
What's his name? I can't think of it right now.
Actor?
Yeah.
One of the turtles?
No.
Well, I'll throw it out there. I did not like Johnny Knoxville's Leonardo.
No,
that was really bad.
I kind of forgot that he I didn't hear him for like half the movie. I feel like his character didn't say anything.
Yeah. Well, that's because technically he didn't. He was kind of like too weak to talk because he had been beaten up, and then he was like trapped in a thing, and
I feel like everyone had their moment, and then he was just like doing nothing.
What's his name?
William.
No.
D. Something.
William Fletcher or whatever?
No, the April O'Neil crush guy.
Will Arnett?
Thank you.
Oh, he's
I always forget his name, but he was the best part of the movie, I think. Actually,
but that's just because I like Will Arnett. Because he was funny, but even though some of his lines were kind of lame, like the whole meet cute.
At least
all of his lines were lame, but he delivered them.
At least he can deliver the lame lines, whereas like you give the lame lines to like all those other people in the film, and it was just like, oh no.
Yeah,
like,
Megan Fox was awful
horrible.
in this. Like I went in thinking she was gonna be awful, and she was. Like this, her trying to be a reporter. I didn't buy her for a second that she was a reporter. It didn't really come off as natural at all. Like even the first scene when she's writing stuff down. I will throw it before we forget is that Skype moment.
Right.
She's like trying to get information from this guy. And he's like, oh, I don't want to talk to you, blah, blah, blah. But he's clearly just talking to her. And then that splits off. And then 10 minutes later, and you see the Skype logo in the right corner. And he's like, hey, how'd you get this number? What are you calling me about? First of all, yeah, you have to accept someone. And second of all, even if you didn't, why are you just going to accept like random Skype caller too? Because he made it clear, like, I don't want to talk to you. But
and you know what? He's not the guy. It seems like he'd have Skype on his phone in the first place.
Yeah, and I get too, if it's in person, you'd be like, oh, whatever. But it's like, if you don't want to talk to a person for phone call or Skype, easy. You click a button, that person's gone. But he seemed really, like, non-reluctant. Like, I don't want to talk to you, but it's like, no, I'll talk to her. Like, that really stood out. Product placement, a lot in this film. Pizza Hut, Crush.
Multiple times,
Yeah, Pizza Hut.
But surprisingly, like, I'm not as upset about, like, the Pizza Hut product placement as I am about that Skype and Windows product placement, because it was unnecessary.
I get
that they've obviously put some money into it somewhere, but, like...
The only one I give a pass to is Pizza Hut.
Yeah, Pizza Hut.
Because they it's pizza, they need a brand.
I feel like Pizza Hut is the pizza place that
the Turtles would eat.
I remember going to like Pizza Hut as a kid, and there was always Ninja Turtle stuff, whether it was like a cup or something. Oh yeah, I swear.
Okay.
Or like even if it was
pizza.
just like a coloring sheet, it was definitely prominent. So I'm okay with the Pizza Hut one, but like the Windows and Skype just was like, why?
Yeah.
That doesn't make me want to go out and download Skype because I saw it in the Ninja Turtles movie. It doesn't.
We're jumping all over, but like
I can contact random people that have to accept my call and listen to me.
Oh, and the other part about that is he was like, I told you I don't want to talk to you. She is like a hot young girl. That man is talking to her no matter what. Like, he's not like ignoring her because she's a reporter. Because she's not even being rude. She's being rather polite when she's asking him all these questions. And he's just like, I already told you, I'm not talking to you. But it's like, no, dude. Like, we all know you're going to talk to her.
Yeah.
Just because she's young and pretty.
Yeah. I'm just looking at my notes and just stuff of just like, okay, Will Arnett, only camera guy in town for the first half of the film. Like, anytime the news is doing something, he's there. It's like you got nobody else. And on the topic of Will Arnett, before I forget, because I didn't write in my notes, is Turtles blowing up his car at the end. Like, I know we're jumping to the end, but it's like, and they kind of do this whole thing of like, oh yeah, I don't know which buttons to press, so like saved it, like, okay, it was a mistake, but it wasn't funny at all. Like, maybe for some people found it, but it was just like, it just was a great crescendo to the film of like, oh, another joke that's not funny at all, and just like to move along, you know.
Well,
like,
and I think the best part about that scene though is the fact that like he just said like, oh, they gave me this new car, I can't get a scratch on it, lightning won't strike twice, and they give him like basically an old cop car is what it looks like an old like ghost cop car. It's just this black generic car. Why would the news channel give him a black generic car?
Why doesn't he get another news van?
Or even a news truck, something that's maybe more durable, but like they give him like this shitty old car that like it's the car that your grandparents have that they sell to you when you turn 16.
I don't think it was that shitty. I'll say that. I don't think it was as shitty as you're throwing it out there. I think
he was pretty stoked on it.
He was. Yeah. I don't know why though. It was like
it's not the news
looked
van,
like an old Buick or something.
It's not the Channel 6 news van, you know.
Yeah. What's that other note I had? I had when they're doing the origin story, explaining like the lab burnt down. I don't understand why Neil's dad pretty much kills himself. Like, they show these flashbacks of him, like, hitting containers and, like, setting stuff on fire, but he's, like, in the middle of it all, so he pretty much just creates this wall of fire around him, and his child's there, too.
I don't understand why she's there.
You think if he was like, I'm going to burn down a laboratory, he's not going to be like, and I'm going to bring my daughter with me, too.
First of all.
So it's like, your dad deserved to die, April O'Neil. Like, I gave no fucks about that character, because he's so stupid, and like I said...
Where's her mom?
Well, yeah, they don't explain that. And before going more, why didn't the classic gasoline all over lab match and leaves? But no, he's like breaking shit. He's like, it makes no sense. And his child's there. Like, he seemed like the worst father of all time.
And his child's there, and she doesn't even like, literally, she doesn't even contemplate that her dad's in the fire. She doesn't even care about that.
She's just like, go.
No, does she actually see him?
Yeah, because
I didn't see that part. All I saw was her like, oh, get the rats and turtles, and I was like, well, your dad is dying.
I don't know if she sees him, but that scene comes right after when he's like, go. Like,
I didn't
it's so lame. It's so fucking lame.
I thought he just like lit on fire, and then she walks in and was like, oh, the turtles and the rat.
Yeah, like, I guess, like, I'm not even doing closing arguments, but it's just like, the whole movie's just lame, you know? Like, that's what, and that scene to me really demonstrates how lame it is. Like, this whole, like, he burns down the lab, and it's just so lazy. And that's what I feel about this movie a lot, is really lazy. I feel like it's just like, oh, Turtles action. And like you said, the action isn't even that good. Like, I don't feel like if it was good action, I'd be like, you know what, that was, the movie's meant, the action's good for the Turtles, but even the last fight scene with Shredder, and it could be because they're all just CGI characters, but it's just lame, and it's just like stuff like logic jumps where he doesn't kill the turtles.
And that was like the only fighting they did too, right? Because like every other, even though that the foot, I guess it was called, even though they're all ninjas and stuff, they all just get punched once.
And they just use guns.
Or they just shoot guns.
Yeah. And they just shoot them in the shell. We said there's one point where the ninja, I guess, in the foot is like standing right behind him, just shooting a shell. Why don't you go a little bit and shoot him in the knee or something? You know, like, it made sense.
Or why don't you stay away because you have a gun?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, you're a ninja. I don't understand. You could have got some cool sword fights in there or whatnot. Because like we said, I didn't feel like, I know they were probably holding them, but I didn't feel like I saw their weapons, like everyone, was Mikey has the nunchucks, like all their exclusive weapons. I feel like I didn't see that till the last fight, and they didn't get to use them. They just all got kicked out of their hands or got kicked away. So it's like, it could have got some cool like ninja fight scenes going on. But it's like no, all the ninjas had guns. But I guess it's this thing of them too. Like why wouldn't a criminal organization use guns? But have a couple sword people in there for some action, you know?
Yeah.
Or have it so like a ninja would cut the gun in half and then that ninja would take a sword out and then sword fight.
It goes back to what you said. Like I don't think there needs to even be that logic to it because it's a movie
Yeah,
about turtle ninjas. You know,
that are mutants. Yeah, it's like I don't look
It's
from
a kids movie.
Yeah.
That's what it comes
they can
back
do whatever
to.
they can do whatever they want with it.
But
and
that's
yet
why
they
I
chose
feel like
to do that lame.
if it's a
combat.
kids movie, it should not be like guy with gun shooting
No,
like
I
that.
agree
In
with
a kids
that.
movie, that's when the ninjas should just have wacky weapons and have these sort of. Because then why didn't Shredder just have like a fucking machine gun with him all the time? He could have mowed down the turtles multiple times in those fights.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't make sense. It didn't make sense that he could talk English. But in a kids movie, and that's why I feel like you can say it's a kids
Yeah.
movie. If it is a kids movie, it's just a terrible kids movie because that's the movie. I feel like you look at something like Shrek, which does a good job as being a kids movie, but can work for adults. I don't feel like this movie. You can work for young kids because it's turtles fighting, but I don't feel like it works for adults or kids really because. Why does he need to talk in? Was it talking Japanese or Chinese?
That was one of my big things. Is as a kids movie, he should not be speaking a different language, so there's subtitles because the majority, well, not the majority, but a lot of children who are watching this can't read.
Yeah.
So it's like
And my thing was he was talking.
they don't know what he's saying, and then the parents have to sit there and be like, "Oh, he just said your men are weak."
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, he wasn't talking English when he was talking to another Foot Clan person, but then when there's a guy that's English, like. I guess he was born in Japan, but still, he's American and he speaks English. He's speaking Japanese to him, yeah. He said he was a freak, remember? He was a freak because he is not Japanese. But, like, it made no sense of why they chose the subtitles when they did. And Shredder just overall, and Shredder's really cool in the movies and the cartoons and this, like, I don't give a fuck about ever seeing him again. And this, for a thing, because this, like, the sequel comes out this week when we recorded it, this does not make me want to go see the second one. Even though there's some cool stuff, I'm hoping that in like a year or so, if we keep doing this Netflix unveil, that it's on Netflix and it's low rated, so that's why our reason is to watch it.
Will be coming out.
Yeah, exactly. But like, this does not make me want to see the second one. This is a movie I'll never honestly watch again. This is a movie when I have kids, I would not show them this. I'll show them something else that I enjoy. Or the old Ninja Turtles.
I feel like, when you're a kid, even if, like, I can't remember any specific example, but there's like all those kid movies that we watched, right, that were maybe terrible if we watched them now.
Yeah.
But even they had like a cool scene or something that you latched onto, whereas like we just watched this movie and I can't even think of a scene that I thought was like, at least that was a really cool scene.
Yeah, that's true.
And even it was
like,
cool for kids.
I was suggesting before this, like, let's all try to find our favorite scene from this movie, and that can be just a part of the show that we do. I can't even think of one. Like,
I would say the elevator, just because that was the one moment where I was like, it was the funniest, and it was like them being cartoony. But then the second those elevator doors open, it's like Shredder, and it's like they get really dramatic again. You know, like the mountain scene could have been that, but it's way too long and it's way too messy.
Yeah, the mountain.
I was gonna say I found a lot of the parts where they were like the high action scenes, and they used a lot of like lights and really quick movement, so you can't really even tell what's going on. And especially kids, like they can't really tell like how they're moving at all because the lights are getting in like the way and it's like distorting. So I don't know if that's just an effect of the CGI.
Plus they're like in the sewers and it's so dark and stuff.
And it was that one in the very beginning when they first go down into their lair and they're sliding through their tunnel, but it's like, so you think that'd be really cool and they're moving super fast, but then the lights are getting in between and they're moving super fast and spinning around, so it's like I couldn't even tell what was actually happening.
Yeah.
So that was something that kind of bothered me because it's
I hear you. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I'll look at my notes, see if I have anything else. Yeah, I talked about the tone being bad. Yeah. It's just...
Oh, we didn't talk about Megan Fox.
Yeah.
She was pretty bad.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what else could be said about Megan Fox.
I don't think anything
I've just never seen her anything good. It's the same thing over. It's just... There's a lot, and there's a lot of centric on her because she's one of like the main characters. So it's like she's gonna be in a lot of scenes.
Yeah. No, yeah, she was in like a lot of the movie.
Yeah.
She was.
There's a chance she was in more than the Turtles. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the part I don't get, because obviously I've seen the previews for the one coming out this week, is that what's his name? Casey Jones is gonna come in and Yeah, he's gonna be
That's
her
the only
love
reason why I wanna
interest
see it.
clearly,
Yeah.
and it
Will
kind of
Arnett's
makes
still in the
sense.
second one, though.
Yeah.
He's still in it, but it kind of makes sense because I feel like Will Arnett is quite a bit older than Megan Fox, or maybe not. Maybe she just looks younger, but her character seems
think
like
he
she's
is.
supposed to be younger.
Or it's the reverse.
Well,
Well,
I-
as you were saying when we were watching it, Travis, like he's supposed to be like this veteran. He's been in the
Yeah.
business for a while, and she's
like,
just,
I've been doing this for a while.
She just got out of school. This is her
Yeah.
first job. She's been working for a few months.
And I didn't buy him as like the older type of guy, like
Yeah.
not that old. Of like I've been doing this for years and I've
Yeah,
been around the
no.
block and everything. And then the last thing I said that I actually had in my notes, just stuff that stuck out, is they do this whole thing. Once again, too, Whoopi Goldberg in this movie. I know people don't have people don't have a high opinion of her already because of you, but just from acting wise, take that out. It's just like this is an Oscar winner. She's so much better than this, and she's just doing this weird role in the news. But I hated the thing where she's like, "We need a story for tonight," blah blah, and it's the nighttime. And I said this to them, like it really bugged me. I feel like unless something huge breaks, if you're going into the nightly news, you'd have like a story by midday afternoon. But it's dark out, and they're like, "We need a story." It's like, so what happens if no one has a story? It's just like, well, we have no story for the nightly news. So it felt like really, really like the news team had no idea what they were doing. It felt really out of
Well,
place.
then there's Taron Killam, who
Oh,
just
yeah,
makes
Cam.
his
For some
little
reason he
appearance
was in it.
with absolutely
Well-
the worst delivery of lines I've ever heard. And
Well,
I don't
pretty
know if it was
greasy
the lines
haircut.
themselves or if it was just
I'm
his
gonna-
delivery, but it was bad.
I think
It
it
was
was
pretty
the
bad.
right.
And yes, the haircut was horrible.
I'm gonna check when this came. When is this? 2014.
Like
So
a
no,
few
he
years.
was on SNL at that point.
Yeah.
So no, I thought maybe it was before, but it's just, yeah.
That's
no
isn't
excuse.
that the same year as 12 Years a Slave? And he was in that. Not that he really had a huge
I think
role.
I think
but-
it was the year. Wait, 2015. Oh, you might be right.
Yeah, it's the same year as 12 Years
Yeah,
a
you might
Slave.
be right because
So,
I think it won an
like-
Oscar 2015. Wait, we're in 2016.
yeah.
12 Years a Slave might have been 2013.
Regardless, it was nearly
It was
around
close,
the
yeah, it
same
was
time.
close.
They were close.
Well, I mean, it's not like he, had a part that would take more than one day to film,
yeah, that was just
Yeah.
interesting.
Do you guys have any like last? Yeah, 12 Years a Slave was 13, so he did this after. So that 12 Year Slave probably got him this gig. They're like, oh, he's good in that. Let's put him in the Turtles
Let's give
movie.
him 2 lines that suck.
Right, yeah.
That sucks.
Like, you know what would make more sense?
What's the worst lines we can think of? Give them to Taron Killam.
Other than like the high profile or Will Arnett, Taron Killam, because he is good on SNL, he's talented. He would have made more sense in the Will Arnett like trying to be her love interest role, not in the veteran role, but the whole of like kind of nerdy loser guy trying to impress the hot chick.
But instead, he was talking down to her like she was the nerdy
Oh, yeah.
loser.
Yeah.
He was
Oh,
like,
you're
April,
superheroes?
Oh, Neil,
Yeah.
what have you been doing?
Look
And
at
it's
this,
like,
Superman.
Yeah, that was bad.
oh, God.
Do you guys have any last notes on this? Anything sticking in your head to say about this film?
Nothing really stuck with me.
No.
I
It's
just feel
forgettable. It's completely forgettable.
Definitely.
Like, other than it being bad, like, I guarantee you in 2 hours you asked me to, like, break down that plot. I have no idea. Oh, I did not like Splinter either. I did not, and it's funny, I like the actor Tony
Yeah.
Shalhoub. I think that's how you say his
Oh,
last
yeah, that
name.
guy's awesome.
Yeah,
I
but
didn't even know that was...
yeah, but Splinter did not come off as this wise, powerful, all-knowing guy. He just kind of came off as a dick.
Greasy little rat.
Yeah, but like Splinter to me, always in the past has been very much like an Xavier, very much like Obi-Wan Kenobi. This didn't seem like he was like that. It just seemed like he was the guy who happened to be the boss, and he was kind of
Yeah.
dickish. And I know at the end he's like, "Oh, I still need to learn so much," but it's like I didn't get a sense of him being a good leader because he was like. He trained them to fight the Foot, but then at one point when they go...
that part was really bad too.
The training?
They were all just
Oh.
hanging
I found
out in the
this book.
sewers. He's like, "Oh, I found this book on ninjutsu. I'm going to teach myself all of this, and then
That
find
was
all the
right.
weapons.
I had to teach myself first.
And I'm also going to find all these swords. I don't know.
Yeah!
And the big just wooden like piece of wood.
Yeah,
that they
a
cut.
giant stump. Like I don't
Yeah.
know how that got in the sewer.
Yeah.
And it's like, what was the line when he was carving the stump? It was like, they learn to like live and breathe martial arts, and he cuts.
I don't even
the
remember.
Ninja Turtle uses his little sabery things
Yeah.
to cut himself doing a karate move. Instead of actually doing the karate move, he cuts it into like a log sculpture. I don't understand the point of that.
Yeah, that scene was pretty
Oh,
lame.
yeah, that
But yeah,
the kids probably love it. Just love it.
Oh, they
it's not
love
a
it.
fan of Splinter. Just and like I said, he's
Like I feel like
training
I
the-
wouldn't have loved this movie when I was younger. I feel like it
That-
wasn't interesting enough.
Yeah, like I guess it's just like because they're turtles
funny
fighting
enough,
people, but
or-
I just
don't know.
don't know who this movie's for really.
Yeah,
I
it
feel
seems like the I don't know what they're targeting. Really,
Yeah.
exactly.
yeah, like no, I guess in my closing
4-year-olds.
statements, it's forgettable.
4-year-olds who can't read subtitles.
I would say it's a 1 star. You might think because I'm crapping on like 0 or 0.5. Like there are worse movies out there. There's a few moments that like not laugh, but they're kind of like a little fun. You know, like with the elevator.
Yeah, Will Arnett is not
Actually, I don't know.
terrible.
I might have to give it a 0.5. I don't think it's 0, but like I'm trying to think because I'm just like the elevator scene, but it's like that's just a 20-second scene out of the movie, and I'm trying to think what else I really liked out of it. Because this is a movie that also when we started this, we're gonna watch movies that we've never heard of or never seen, or movies that like this that we've heard people see or say they're terrible and watch them. And I was expecting this to be one of those movies that maybe it's so bad we kind of laugh.
Yeah, it wasn't even in that level.
Yeah, and we laughed a few times because like it was over top cheesy, but it's nothing like where it's overly bad and you're just killing yourself because it's trying to be good. There's some movies that are so bad they're just bad, but this is like a bad movie still trying to
those
be
movies
good.
that are like so bad, but it almost seems like they accept it. It's like entertaining, right?
Yeah.
To make fun of, but that
Yeah.
Like a
This
horror
had some
movie,
moments,
anything like
but,
this.
like-
Yeah, it just felt like, and I just felt honestly that it was one of these things where it was not one that's so bad it's good because I was kind of bored. Like I'm glad like I watched it with these two because if I was watching alone,
Oh yeah.
this would have been on the phone all the time doing stuff. Like I was bored and I was really
If
having
you like
no
asked
fun.
me to watch this and then come over and like do a review, I would have been like, no, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna watch this.
You
movie
have
on
to
my
watch
own.
this with people, you know, like, and that's what I mean. There's some bad movies you could watch alone, and like the one I
Yeah.
always throw out. I don't know if you've ever seen Dylan, but it's Catwoman. They made a Catwoman movie,
Mm.
and it's awful, but it's so awful, it's really fun. You're laughing all the time. I can watch that alone and just laugh because it's so bad. The acting's terrible, the action, everything, like everything's awful about. But this, it's just forgettable. It's just lame. It's just lazy. I will give it I'll give it a 0.5 out of 5. Honestly, I don't know if I could give it a 0 because I feel like at some point we will watch a movie that is worse than this. So there's still maybe a few moments.
It's
Mikey
really
was kind
hard
of
to
funny.
get a 0 for sure.
Yeah, Mikey was kind of funny, but like I said, there's no good action scenes. But Mikey was kind of funny. I like the elevator thing, and I would say that the sequel would probably be better because I don't know if you can get any worse than this. To be honest, you could get because I only gave it 0.5, but like. Yeah, so on Netflix, if I had to rate it, I give it, and so they were close to what I want. It was actually a 1.2 we looked, so I would give it a 0.5 out of 5. Emily, what would you give it out of 5?
Well, to be honest, I was hoping I was gonna like it a little
Me
more
too.
than I did. I
And I
actually
was excited
wanted
when
to
we
like
started
it
the
because I
movie.
was like, you know what? I feel like this sequel could. Well, I really do think it will be better. Because
Yeah.
like you said, I don't know
Yeah.
how it could possibly be worse than that. But I wanted to like it. I wanted to understand what the kids are talking about, but I don't.
Yeah.
Like, except for when it comes to the turtles, but everything else, like, I just don't understand. So
Yeah, because
I guess, like, yeah, I think the max I could give it is a 1. Like, the absolute max I could give it is a 1, and that's
Yeah.
being pretty generous. So
yeah,
it's like, yeah.
Dylan,
Oy.
out of 5.
I'll give it 1 Pizza Hut slice of pizza.
Yeah.
One,
Out of 10.
yeah. So yeah, none of us were above a 1. Yeah.
A cheese pizza with only one type of cheese out of 99 types of cheese.
Yeah, kept talking and talking, but yeah, I don't know. If you like this movie, tell us why. If you
Tell us why.
yeah, if you like this movie, tell us why. If you think like, what's your rating on it? Let us know. If
If
there's
you
any-
liked it less than we did.
yeah, exactly.
I wanna
Yeah,
hear
if
that.
it's at 0, yeah. If there's a movie, and I would take requests, but it has to be under our guidelines. So if there's a movie on your Netflix that's under 2.5, you can always let us know, and we'll check on my Netflix. If it is, we'll watch that. We'll take requests if that's the thing, but it has to be 2.5 under for us, so we can see because we got to see if it fails. And this, our first one is a fail. I'm and the same thing as you. I want this to be a success. I at least want to be like, you know what? It's a 2.5. It's a 50%. That's kind of my expectations I was going in with because I was like, you know what? A lot of people said too, like, oh, the turtles aren't in it that much. I feel like the turtles were in it quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I heard that complaint
I feel
a lot.
Maybe they were just talking about the fighting. Maybe they honestly just wanted more of
Yeah,
that.
or maybe they just feel like Megan Fox was in it too much, which I can
Yeah.
agree with. But that I
Yeah.
feel like the turtles were in there enough, so that's why I was going in being like, you know what, and it was a 1, and to be a 1 is pretty bad. So I thought, you know what, I think because we just looked at a movie called like The Duo, the Adam Sandler movie, and it's a 4-star movie, and like for me, I don't think at all it's gonna be 4. Like I've hated Adam Sandler movies the past 5 years.
Yeah.
So it's like Netflix doesn't always get it right. So I'm like, you know what, I didn't see it being a 1. I saw it being the 2.5, but a 1 I didn't, and this proves it. So this is our first First movie,
our
and it's a
first
fail.
Yeah.
We're waiting for that success, but hey, it's probably a good way to start the podcast, right? It is called Netflix and Fail, so if we start one with a pass, it'd be...
It'd be kind of fraudulent.
Yeah, so, we're going to do this monthly. And,
we have a lot of ideas for movies. We've already been scouring our Netflix looking for movies that we think fit the criteria. But if there's anything that you think is truly horrible that we need to experience along with you, please let us know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we're going to always try to switch up the genres. You know, we're I think other than in October, if we do this monthly, that's the plan. In October, I say we watch a horror movie, but...
Yeah.
Horror movies generally are all like under 2.5, so I'm not just gonna watch those because there's a lot of horror movies that I think a lot of people like, and people just like, or critics just like, oh yeah, that's a 2, you know. And even myself who likes horror movies on Netflix, there's movies where I've watched before and I like it, and it's like, oh, that's a 1.5. I'm like, I don't think it's that bad, but horror is a little harder to judge. And the other one's like rom-coms. I know Emily's a little disappointed in that, but rom-coms, but they're just the same thing over. Like, we're trying to go for movies that are different that we haven't seen. This one. Like, this is bigger because Ninja Turtles, but the next one, like, we want it to be something that is, like, we've never heard, never seen, like, straight to DVD.
For sure.
That,
you know.
and I think maybe we've learned after this film in particular that kids' movies might not necessarily be the best because kids seem to enjoy them, but we won't get them.
There's one I really want to watch, so that's a kid's one.
There will make a couple exceptions to each of these rules, I'm sure, but for the most part, we'll try and just...
There's a kid's knockoff of Pirates of the Caribbean, and it's like Pirates of the... What is it? Like Crocodile something?
I don't even know.
Oh, it looks so bad, but I want to watch it. We watched like a minute of it, and like it's awful. So maybe we'll watch it for a while because we did kind of do a kids movie. We'll do an adult one.
We'll space it out, but
that's on my list.
Get some variety.
Kids movies are a little bit difficult to judge because we know they love them.
And to help us out, I'll take anything with John Travolta or Nicolas Cage. Those are my two. Nicolas Cage because he's always the bad stuff, and I'll watch John Travolta on anything. And we looked at Netflix. He has a lot of under 2.5 things. So I'm like, nice. John Travolta.
I thought he didn't have that many, but...
He had 3
out
of his 4 movies.
Oh, not looking good.
But like for a ratio,
we'll do a whole episode of just John Travolta.
We actually, we might do that. We might just because they might not be out. That's a good idea. Get them out of the way. Yeah. Well, if you like this, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, GeekVerse Podcast, SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes. I almost forgot about the iTunes, but
that one's important.
Yeah. So we're gonna do this monthly. If you like us, send us a comment, listen, subscribe, rate. And thank you for listening.
Have a good day.
Bye.
How do you know it's going to be daytime, Dylan?
Well, I don't know. I really don't.